when you come online, bro.
Are
Just
you
calm down.
okay?
No, I'm fine.
Like, are you actually okay?
you
Can
gonna
you
let
just
your
respond
guest
without
talk?
lying? And you just lied, man.
No. You don't let people talk.
You
What I
lied. I can't
said.
just let you lie, right? That's not fair. How is that fair?
Why don't you let your
Can
guest
you just
talk,
continue
Johnny?
talking? You don't gotta harp on it. Just don't lie
Okay,
again,
good.
and I won't have to cut you
So,
off.
so when you look at the orange industry in Florida, like you mentioned, it is
National.
handpicked. Okay, so when you look at this $12 billion loss in the GDP for Florida, then yes, that geographical area, which would be potentially impacted from immigrant labor, yeah, you might be correct. But do you think that field work is the only things that immigrants
Pookie,
do?
help me understand. But again, SB 1718 was introduced, and this cut the agricultural workforce in Florida by 40%. Now, if you introduce this nationally, we know that
40%.
farmers, about 40%, are also undocumented migrants nationally. So if you do mass deportation, you're going to kick them out, right? How are you going to make up that gap in workforce development when it comes to
Did
farmers?
you just say
Excuse me.
40%?
Yeah, 40%. Do you want the stat?
Are
Do you
you
want
in
a
Florida,
source?
Johnny?
No,
Are
this
you
is
in Florida?
nationally. This is nationally. Are you new
40%?
here? Yeah, this isn't debatable. I mean, I feel like everybody
How
knows
many
that.
people are in this country, Johnny?
Here, 40% of agricultural workers in Florida and nationally are undocumented migrants.
Well, that's not what you said, though. You
That's what I said. That is what I
no,
said
you
word for
didn't.
word.
No, you said it was
No, Pookie, that's what I said
the
word for
labor
word.
force
Pookie, I said
by
40% in the
40%.
agricultural
No,
workforce.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
nationwide. That's what I said.
now that you made a correction, that makes
Everybody in the
way more
chat is
sense.
saying that's what I said. Are you okay, Pookie? Listen closer. It's not my fault you have a processing issue.
I'm fine, bro.
Apparently not.
I
But that's
think,
why you
Johnny.
probably should invest in education, not defund the Department of Education like your
Let's get
candidate
rid of
wants to. So let's get back into this.
What
So
year
again,
was
40 don't pivot. I know you don't want me to ask you
you
again
just
because you don't know how to
pivoted?
answer. Don't pivot.
Oh my God.
40% of farmers in Florida and across the country
Rejection.
are undocumented migrants. When you kick them out, how are you going to make up that workforce development gap to ensure that there's not a workforce crisis where in Florida there is now because you removed 40% of farmers, right? They have a manufacturing and produce crisis that has led to a $13 billion gap in their GDP. Nationally, it would lead to a $300 to $450 billion gap
Why
in their
are
GDP.
farmers-
How
hold
are
on.
you going to fix that? You can't just
Why
kick them out and then
why
tell
are
farmers to go F
businesses hiring
themselves.
illegal migrants?
Well, because Americans don't want to do the work. So again,
No,
my
but you
question
didn't
to you,
answer
excuse
my
me.
question.
No,
You
I
didn't
just
answer
did.
my
I just did. I
question.
said because Americans don't want to do the work, so they hire
No, but why
undocumented
are
migrants.
companies-
Right, I
why
just
are
answered
companies
you,
hiring
Pookie.
illegal
Pookie, I just
aliens?
answered you. So now I need to answer to my question. How are you going to solve the workforce development crisis that you're looking to cause that's going to
You're not
lead
gonna
to a
let me answer.
40%
It's
cut in
okay.
farmers? Don't run away. I just answered your question. You tried
just
to
won't let me
pivot.
speak. You won't
Chat,
let
is he
me
going to
speak.
continue pivoting or is he going to continue crying? A,
I'm
pivot,
not
or B,
crying.
cry? Because clearly answering is not in his choices here. He won't answer. I don't understand. Both. Secret letter C, you're going to cry and pivot. Can you just respond
I
to
have
what I
have
said?
I have a way to solve this issue, and that is
Do I have your
that
attention? 1, 2, 3. Eyes on me. Do I have your attention?
okay.
What I
look,
need you to
no.
do is
I'm
start
gonna
off
let
with
you
a
go, bro.
stat.
I'm not-
No, don't
listen,
run away.
I'm not-
You're going to run
I'm not
away.
your
Should I
dog.
get the cowbell? You're a wimp.
Nah.
You're scared. You're running from me. I
I
asked
don't
you a
let
simple
people talk-
stat
I
and
don't-
you're
I don't
scared,
let
running
people-
away, crying like a little
I don't let
snowflake.
people talk to you that
You're
way,
gonna
buddy.
cry? You're running away? Oh, he ran! I knew it! No! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Yeah! Folks, if you like listening into the accountability, feel free to support me. My Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio, but feel no pressure to do that if you haven't already. Feel free to support me by hitting the follow button in the top left corner and join our family. Let's get up our next guest. I'm so shocked he ran away. And by shocked, I mean completely not shocked whatsoever. Kind of knew that was going to happen. Let's get up our next guest. If you did vote for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation. Don't be shy. Come on up. Come on up. How y'all doing tonight, by the way? Hopefully, I know that on the East Coast, y'all, it's dinner time. On the West Coast, y'all are just getting out of work. Hope that y'all are having a good evening. Let's get up our next guest, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Hello. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hi, actually did not, but I wanted to come on here really quickly to just let you know how much I love you.
I love you right back. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. Love you right back. Folks, if you did vote for Donald Trump, then join the guest request and let's have a conversation about that. I see some Trumpers commenting in the chat, like being little snowflakes. I don't need you in my comment section crying about how much you love Vladimir Putin. Hello? What I need you to do is join my guest request so that we could have a conversation. So again, if you voted for Trump, pick yourself up by the bootstraps, get into my guest request, and let's chat, okay?
Yeah, let's chat.
Ew, you're a fetus. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Pardon me? On the count of 3, everybody, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Fetus deletus. Poof, and he's gone. Wow, the magic is real in America. The magic is real. What a beautiful spell. And it works so easily. But don't forget, everybody, fetus deletus is a spell that is banned in the states of Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Mar-a-Lago. Hi, Colin. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
So I didn't, and if I'm using your platform wrong,
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for not voting for the rapist. Let's get up our next guest. Again, folks, if you voted for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Hi, Jordan. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Actually, no, I didn't. I came on here.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for not voting for Donald Trump. But let's get up our next guest. Again, here, I'll give it 10 seconds. If you voted for Donald Trump, and I see you in the comment section, you little Trumpers, you're scared of me. You shouldn't be. Own up to your candidate. Join the guest request and come talk to me. Okay? Let's have a conversation, right? I'm actually a very respectful guy. There's no reason to be scared of me, so long as you're also respectful. But if you're not respectful, then you meet my father's Italian side. But so long as you're nice, you'll always get my mom's good old American boy side, you know? Just don't cross me. All right, let's get up our next guest. If you did vote for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Let's go. Hello, guest. Connor, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh, you were a first-time voter. What year were you born?
2005.
So you were a first-time voter and you voted for Donald Trump. Why so?
Okay, let me start off by saying I come from a middle-class family, okay?
Same. I mean, most of us in the chat do, too. If you're middle class, type 1 in the chat.
Family, and I am speaking. I am speaking, okay?
Sounds familiar, huh?
Sounds familiar, femboy, huh?
Excuse me. First and foremost, I can tell right off the bat that you are not 19 or an adult if you're talking like that. No adult acts like that. That was the most childish nonsense I have ever heard come out of somebody's mouth. I mean, that was pathetic. That was weak. So anyway, we are going to get a lot of pleasure out of this, though, because on the count of 3, the chat's going to feed us, delete us you. On the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Fetus, delete us. Poof, and he's gone. Somebody had some daddy issues. Let's get up our next guest. He goes, I'm an adult and I voted. I should have known by the fact that your voice didn't drop yet that you weren't old enough to vote. Let's get up our next guest here. Hi, did you vote for Donald Trump? Hello? Okay, let's move on. Again, folks, if you did vote for Donald Trump and you actually voted for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. I see Kate G in the chat who said, veteran against Trump. W's for Kate in the chat, please. That's awesome, Kate. Guest, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
Hello? I can't hear you.
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Would you mind talking? You're a little muffled there. Are you... What's going on with the phone? Do you have earbuds in?
No.
Are you talking into like a phone from the 90s? Is it like a Nokia 1999 or something?
No.
Are you underwater? It's giving the Little Mermaid. Are you in your fish tank? I already tried hiding in my fish tank. There's no reason to hide in there. Turns out it's see-through. People can still see you.
Can you hear me?
No, it's actually somehow worse. You got to talk into your phone. Is the phone, like, did you eat the phone? Is it in your stomach and you're like just talking into the void and like the phone's in your stomach or something? Talk again?
Can you hear me?
Ma'am. What is this audio? What kind of cell phone do you have? Now I'm just curious. Oh, I know you got a 2009 Samsung Galaxy Flip, don't you?
I don't.
I know. Okay, try to rejoin and we can have a conversation, but that was not going to work. Folks, again, if you voted for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Slowly but surely, we are off to a slow start. Trumpers are so scared to come talk to me. I don't understand. I don't get it. Folks, please hit the like button on the live. Help us get to 100,000 likes. And please hit the share button as well. That way we can continue boosting out the live stream and get up some more guests here. Again, if you voted for Kamala Harris, please hit the like button, hit the share button. Hopefully we could get up some guests and have a conversation. But they're too scared to talk to me, and I'm not shocked. See, here's my point, right? So the pro-Trump person in the chat, like, why are you not in my guest request? Why are you such a little snowflake? You're like commenting it. If you're a Trumper and you're commenting that you're a Trumper instead of getting into my guest request and picking yourself up by the bootstraps, I'm actually getting secondhand embarrassment for you. Like, it's actually embarrassing. Hi, guest. Thank you for the Galaxy Terry. Guest, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Ew. Why?
Well, because he's probably going to be the best president ever.
Well, I would probably think not, considering 154 presidential administrative experts and specialists ranked him during his first term as the worst president in our nation's history, ranking Abraham Lincoln as the best and him as the worst. So I'm going to assume he probably isn't going to be the best the second time around, you know?
Well,
anyway, so why did you vote for Donald Trump?
Well, these experts have been wrong before.
No. So why did you vote for Donald Trump?
Because of his policies.
Yeah, okay. Can you break that down, or?
Well, because he's going to drill.
You're drilling more under Kamala and Joe. What do you mean? They passed more permits than Donald Trump. You understand that?
Well, yes, but he's going to be drilling even more.
Why didn't he drill more the first go around, right? Kamala and Joe drilled more than him. They drilled far more than Donald Trump in his first term. Why didn't he drill more? He said he was going to drill the most in history and the most we'll ever drill. Turns out Kamala and Joe doubled it. So tell me again, obviously you weren't voting based off of drilling. I mean, you're more energy independent today than you were under Donald Trump's first term. So tell me again, do you have a concept of a plan or a policy that you support that Donald Trump put forth, or no?
Well, I think he's gonna bring the country back to normal again.
I feel like we're pretty normal now. What do you consider normal? Because apparently you're normal, and the normal of most Americans is pretty different. What is your normal?
Well, I think the policies that the Biden and Harris administration had were too far left, and I think the majority were too far left.
They were lukewarm. They were very moderate policies. What policy was too far left?
Well, every policy that they had was far left.
The Chips and Science Act was too far left. The act that brought chip manufacturing to America?
About social issues.
Oh, okay. The infrastructure package, the Inflation Reduction Act, American Rescue Plan, those were too far left? Because I'm pretty sure that those were actually very moderate.
I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about
social issues. Okay, so you're just saying that you hate women. Just say that, right?
No.
So you don't support abortion? Just get to the point. You don't support abortion?
I'm like most Americans. I support abortion to a certain degree.
Okay, yeah, and what's that degree?
There has to be a limit at what point you have to say you can't have an abortion anymore.
Okay, but people, I don't know about you, but I had three abortions just today, right? Chat, how many abortions did you guys have today? I had 3 just today. It was buy one, get one. And then I was, I felt so good after my second one that I was like, let me do one more just, because I like the number 3. Anyway. No, but let's be realistic about this. So people aren't just having abortions for fun, right? It's a deeply heart-wrenching decision that women have to make, and it's deeply personal to them. You're trying to regulate it. My question is, what is your regulation on a reproductive health care then? What is your regulation?
That would have to be determined by the states, and they'd have to come up with each state.
No, so you voted for Donald Trump. You said based off of reproductive freedom, you said that Kamala and Joe were too far left for you. So if they're too far left and they believe in restrictions like the 18 to 24 week period restriction, which is what the national consensus was, and if they believed in exceptions for great princess life of the mother, clearly, if you think that's too far left, then I imagine that you support an outright abortion ban. But if I'm wrong, then you need to tell me.
I think you are right. I think you are right.
Okay, so you support an outright abortion ban.
No. I'm saying that I do agree with if you're saying that Harris went for an 18 to 24 week. Is that what you're stating?
That's the national restriction, yeah, and that was under the protection of Roe v. Wade. That was the national consensus.
Yeah, and I personally, unfortunately, we're talking about abortion, unfortunately, I think that's where the Republicans made a mistake by sending it to get overturned.
Excuse me. So then, what social issues are you talking about? You're the one who brought up social issues and brought up abortion. What are you talking about then? So now it just sounds like you're a Kamala supporter who voted against your own interests.
Yeah, there's more than just abortion.
Okay, what's the other one?
Well, when it comes to transgender and women in sports and men and women's sports and those type of issues.
Okay, can you detail a little bit further as to what your problem is here? Is it like what's the issue? Bathrooms? What's the problem?
Bathrooms is another one. Yeah.
Okay, what's the issue?
Well, I don't think men should be in women's bathrooms, right?
Okay, but I don't think that men should be in men's bathrooms either. I mean, I don't understand you MAGA Republicans with this whole bathroom issue. The fact that you are going into this issue saying, listen, if I use a urinal, the person I want to the left and right of me has to be a big, thick man. Now I don't want a woman next to me. I'm a man who wants a man. And then you guys, spew the homophobic rhetoric. I mean, the closet's class. Maybe it's just me, but I don't want anybody in the restroom when I'm going. I like the private stalls, like what they have at Starbucks, where it's like one person, one stall, like just one individual bathroom. I feel like, am I wrong, chat? Would you not prefer just, being alone when you do your business? Did you know that America is one of like the few places that use communal restrooms? I mean, it's pretty prehistoric. The fact that you're advocating for same-sex restrooms when really, I mean, you should just be saying, hey, how about we all just do our business alone? It's kind of weird, don't you think? Yeah. It's a little weird, the case you're making.
Well, I just don't. I want to protect women. I would want to protect women not having to.
Okay, but hear me on this. So let's say you have a daughter, and you're saying that a grown man could harm her if he uses that restroom. I agree. Now, let's say you have a son. What's the difference? The grown man can still harm him. So again, you're advocating for same-sex restrooms, which is just weird because it's communal and, maybe do your business in private alone, where I think it's meant to be done. You should be advocating for just unisex restrooms like they have at Starbucks. Just a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thanks for your time.
No, I have further questions. You haven't actually given me any reason as to why you're voting for Donald Trump, just a redundant conversation about why you want to use the same restroom as multiple men at the same time, which, again, everybody has their kinks and you do you. But I'm just trying to better understand this. So let me get an answer from you regarding the workforce development crisis. Would that be fine?
Sure.
Okay, so Donald Trump, what is his policy when it comes to immigration? Do you know?
Well, he's going to go after the criminals, the ones that do have, were convicted of criminal offenses.
We're already doing that.
Yeah.
That's called deportation. That's not new.
He's going to go after those first, right?
Okay, but we're already doing that. So what's his plan? What's the revolutionary plan that you MAGA Republicans spent weeks talking about? Love, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, love. So anyway, again, what is the revolutionary plan?
I'm not exactly sure what the plan is, but can I say one thing?
No, I mean, you're not going to tell me what the plan is. So now let me ask you the question. His plan is mass deportation. The fact you didn't know that and yet you voted for him, it's kind of crazy. Wow. I mean, I really hope you get everything you voted for, including the cuts to Social Security. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 48.
And were you ever hoping to collect Social Security?
Yes.
Okay, so then let me ask you. The House Republicans have put forth their budget, and 80% of them have endorsed this very budget. The budget is a proposal as we speak, but because 80% of the Republican caucus has endorsed it, it's going to be adopted and then passed in the House and Senate because you have the Republican trifecta. Donald Trump will sign it. Now, right now, there is about $1.5 trillion in the Social Security pot. And lo and behold, this budget cuts exactly $1.5 trillion out of the Social Security pot. Then it cuts the corporate tax, income tax, and the Social Security tax in its entirety. Those three taxes pay for Social Security. So when Donald Trump was telling you that he's going to cut your Social Security tax, he wasn't saying to you he's going to cut the taxes on your Social Security. He was saying to me he's going to cut my tax that I am paying to pay for your Social Security. But MAGA Republicans misunderstood. Now it's in the budget. So I'm going to get a tax cut. But anybody who is collecting Social Security or who is looking to collect Social Security is going to lose their Social Security, as this includes well over $6 trillion in cuts to the pot that's already faded. This also cuts disability benefits. It raises the retirement age to 69. It cuts CHIP, Medicaid, Medicare, the ACA. So can you tell me exactly why you voted in favor of that? Or how does that help you?
I don't know.
Yeah. You're rethinking that Trump vote? It's a little too late. It's a little late. Again, I hope you get everything that you voted for and more, because I'm getting a tax cut so that you lose your Social Security. Isn't that crazy? I voted for Kamala, right? I didn't want you to lose your Social Security, but you decided to vote against your own interests.
Well, I hope you're wrong. I hope I don't lose it, but you're right.
It's not a wrong or right thing. It's the House Republican budget. It's already on the floor. It's not debatable anymore. It's not a hypothetical. It's not a, I hope Johnny's wrong. It's a, you can Google it. This is their budget.
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks.
Please do. Okay. Do you want to take out the trash on your own, or do we need to get rid of you?
Yeah, you're funny.
I'm not trying to be funny. Just don't want to do that much work. Do you want to take yourself out? Or Carly, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate the love. Let me let the chat do it. On the count of three, chat, say hocus pocus. 3, 2, 1. Hocus pocus. Poof. Judd, thank you so much for the galaxy. I appreciate the love. And thank you guys for helping me with that spell. Sometimes wizardry is tough, and that's why we got to do it together. Hello, guest.
Hey, Johnny, how you doing?
Fix your audio and then come back. It sounds way too muffled for this. Let's get up our next guest. Heather, thank you so much for the galaxy. I appreciate the love. Wow, we are already 50% to our live goal. That's crazy. You guys are fast. Hi, Angel. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Angel? Okay. I'll miss you. Okay, let's get up our next guest. Thank you so much, Terry, for the galaxy. Y'all are too nice.
For bringing me up.
Hi.
I've been
Did you
under
vote
a
for
lot
Donald
of
Trump?
stress. No, I did not. My parents did, though.
Put him on the phone. Let me talk to him.
The thing I don't understand is they don't like the fact they don't like
Heather, thank you so much
they
for
don't
the
like
galaxy.
Medicare. My mother's a retired nurse, and she said that Donald Trump will help remove Medicare from patient. I said, why is that a good thing?
Oh my gosh, dark-sided. What the fudge was that? That was crazy. That was cute. That was a nice
I
little...
couldn't understand why she would think that removing Medicare from somebody's...
Well, I'll tell you this. There is a lack of education when it comes to some folks and in which they voted. For example, this morning I spoke to a Trump supporter at a Starbucks that I had gone to, and he had said to me, he was in the red hat, so I asked him, he had said to me that he's looking forward to Donald Trump's $25,000 down payment for first-time homebuyers. That is Kamala's plan. That is not Donald Trump's plan. So clearly a lack of education, but I do want to get up our next guest. I am just looking to talk to some Trump supporters, Lauren.
Is even off of those, those inflammatory comments about Latinos, the majority of Latino men voted for Trump and new Gen Zs.
Right, thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Lauren.
Okay, bye.
All right, let's get up our next guest, folks. If you did vote for Donald Trump, join the guest request. I am just looking to talk to some opposition right now. Heather, thank you so much for the gifts. You were too nice. That is so sweet. How you doing, Heather, by the way?
Oh, what's up? Can you hear me?
Hello. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, man.
Okay, why so?
So my biggest thing is relegation of big government back to the states. So
Okay, but you don't believe in states' rights, right? You voted for the candidate that violated the Constitution and attempted to overthrow the will of the people. I mean, not even just talking about what he did to Mike Pence and the way he attempted to overthrow an election, but the guy also violated the Second Amendment, right? He implemented a bump stock ban in direct violation of the Constitution, and it was overturned in June of this year by his own Supreme Court justices, the very justices he nominated. So help me understand that. In what sense is that states' rights? Because he, in fact, stripped away the rights of states.
Okay, I'm not so much. I'm more so talking about the.
That's okay. Everybody has the right to be stupid.
Okay, man. Hold on. What more so? What
Leah,
I'm talking
thank you so much for the $5 on Cash App. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Leah.
The biggest example I'm talking about is like when it comes to departments. Like right now, he's talking about getting rid of the Department of Education, which that sounds scary, right? You're like, oh my God, why is he going to get rid of the Department of Education?
But it's not scary to you.
No,
right?
No, not at all.
What state are you from, for example?
You're going to think.
Oh, you just muted yourself. My hands are here. I didn't mute you. My hands are right here.
Can you hear me?
So what state are you from?
I'm from Alabama, man.
Okay, so you should be advocating against defunding the Department of Education. And let's be clear, but here's why. First off, MAGA Republicans are saying that the Department of Education should be defunded because they want to change the curriculum. But just to be clear, there is no federal curriculum. This is the uneducation, right? The lack of education, and the very reason we should invest in education, not defund it, okay? Because again, there's no federal curriculum, but you MAGA Republicans are saying we need to defund the Department of Education to change the curriculum. The curriculum's already decided on a statewide level. It's the very reason why you can study the Bible in Louisiana, but you don't do that in Pennsylvania, right? Because statewide curriculum. The federal funding is what is provided to, the federal funding is what is provided by the federal Department of Education to state Department of Educations. States like Michigan, Pennsylvania, Love, thank you for the $2. They're not going to lose out here, right? Because they're well funded. I mean, Minnesota, bright blue state, tremendous education system. The 5 most educated states in the nation are all Democratic. The 5 dumbest states in the nation, starting with West Virginia at number 1, are all Republican. You should be advocating for the Department of Education, but you're against it because
no, it's not so much like my straight up against Department of Education. Department of Education is an example, but I'm against the Department of Education because ever since the implementation of the Department of Education, the United States has gone from first in nationwide, our nationwide students being first in the world, first class.
I hear you, but if that be the case, that's not because of the Department of Education. That would be because of you, right? Like, that's because of Alabama. Let's recognize, again, while you're spending all your time studying the Bible instead of studying statistics, data analysis, even poli-sci 101, the very reason you think it's a good idea to think it's like to defund the Department of Education. You probably should have spent more time studying proper curriculum, but you're from Alabama, so I don't expect you to.
Do you know that in my entire public education life, I never once had the Bible introduced into my education system, so you would be incorrect on that.
Okay. Your point? You're still illiterate, right? Like, your state is one of the dumbest in the country. Not judging you, no offense to you, but that is the fact. That is the stat. So you are quite literally, your state is one of the dumbest in the nation. Again, not an insult, just statistically, but I know that you don't like statistics because, again, you're dumb. So anyway, the point being,
I'm really a big fan.
Point being, I want to better understand here then. Again, look at rural Americans, for example, right? Rural Americans benefit from the federal Department of Education because they receive funding for a public school opportunity. For example, I'm a rural American. I was a public school student because I had such a strong public school education. Thanks to the federal Department of Education, I had the intelligence and more, the resources to garner the intelligence to get accepted into an Ivy League. So that is not an opportunity that rural Americans will have without the Department of Education. They're all going to turn into Alabamans. So I don't know that that's something that we should thrive for. Just a thought. just a thought.
So I wanted to the point I wanted to get across here is if you look at the state of Alabama, if you Where are you from?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Far better state than Alabama. No offense, but just educationally, we're far superior.
Yeah. So I don't know how familiar you are with the state of Alabama. If you
I try not to pay attention to it. No offense.
Okay. If you go from
a lot of incest.
No, there's actually not.
Sorry, what did you say?
Alabama is actually extremely low on national.
Oh, I didn't say anything. The fact that it's low on it should probably be non-existent. But you do you, as you were saying. Because we're actually very low in that. Sir, it should be 0.
It should be.
We're actually very low when it comes to incest. Sir, you just strive for that number to be 0.
Yes, it is. Not help. But what's funny is Pennsylvania actually has a higher incest rate.
No, it doesn't.
Alabama.
Knock it off.
It does.
Stop it. No,
you should
stop
really
it.
look that
Knock
up.
it off. I have.
No,
the same way I've looked up the educational ranking. Stop it. You're not going to get upset and start lying and gaslighting. We don't got to do all that. You don't got to harp on it. Don't get emotional. Alabama sucks. We know that. It's fine. Nobody's judging you. It's just your state. That's not you. That's KIV. Okay, continue.
What I would like to say is from Birmingham North, Alabama has great education. I'm
sorry, is that not a city?
Yes, Birmingham.
Okay, but so you just picked out a condensed area that leans Democratic, and you said that in that area they have a strong education. Again, I'm not saying it's the cities that have the problem, because they're Democratic leaning, and they understand that the curriculum lies based through math and science. It's the rural districts that will struggle without the Department of Education's involvement and funding.
Yes.
But you just criticized yourself.
From Birmingham North, and then if you go to about Montgomery South, Alabama has very high education. Montgomery South.
Condensed cities. You're talking about, thank you. You're talking about condensed areas.
No, I'm talking about
let's head down to the South Boot, where nobody's living except your uncles, wives, sister wives, and blah, blah, blah. They have kids, right? I'm trying to understand here. Again,
No.
let's say you're in rural Alabama or
Montgomery,
rural West
all the way
Virginia.
to the Montgomery.
Thank you. I'm
to
trying to speak. Thank you. So again, let's say you're in a rural area where you rely on federal funding to get a strong education. The issue here is by defunding the Department of Education, you're putting public school students behind that of private school students. Again, I didn't grow up rich. I'm not rich, right? I'm a middle-class American, and I grew up in a middle-class family in a lower-class district. I went to a public school because I worked hard and had federal funding through the Department of Education. I was able to get an Ivy League education. Without the Department of Education offering me that equal opportunity to that of a private school student, I would never have had that opportunity to go Ivy League. Every single private school student would, because they would be doing economically better. But those in rural communities like myself, we will struggle. And those are typically red-leaning and conservative areas. You're quite literally voting against yourself. Congrats.
Okay.
Is there a reason why you guys want the country to be dumber? I get that you rely on the voting bloc of uneducated white men. You don't like educated white men, that's clear. So uneducated white men, you guys rely on that voting bloc. Is that what it is? That you want more of that? So you're trying to defund the Department of Education?
I would like to point out that I am an educated white man. If you consider
Again, this isn't an attack on you. I haven't mentioned you once. I'll slap down Alabama because Alabama statistically, not doing so good. But that's not you. Just because you're from Alabama, that doesn't speak to your character. I'm sure that you're a wonderful.
No, there are plenty of people from Pennsylvania where I live. There are plenty of people from Pennsylvania where I live right now because I live in a high tourist attraction area. I live in Gulf Shores, Alabama. You should look it up. It's a beautiful area. You should.
I'd rather not. I really do try to stay away from Alabama. No offense.
Yeah,
it's not you. It's just
when you think Alabama, you think cousin fucking backwoods. We drink beer.
I wasn't going to say that, but if you want to, and it's not me who thinks that, it's everybody because it's accurate. Listen, the fact of the matter is, again, once more, you're making the case to defund the Department of Education, but you're just going to defund education curriculum opportunities from rural Americans. Why are you advocating to strip away equal opportunity from those in rural communities who can't afford private school? Or let's say, for example, you're in Wayne County, Pennsylvania. They have one school district. They don't get the opportunity to go to private school. So you're going to cut their public school funding. They're going to rely on state funding. They won't receive equal to that of Philadelphia's funding. So help me understand, why are you looking to cut federal funding from rural Americans? It's going to hurt them. It's not going to help city folks.
So the point that I was trying to make earlier is...
Well, I don't need you to go earlier. I need you to speak on this.
Okay, this ties in. That's exactly what I'm saying. So the point that I was trying to make earlier is from Birmingham north to the top of the state and from Montgomery south to the bottom of the state is where a lot of people live. There are a lot of rural areas between Montgomery and where I live, which is Mobile.
Pivot.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, you just pivoted. Right? So I asked you again, you're looking to cut federal funding, and in the Department of Education, that funding is used to create equal opportunity for rural Americans. Again, I'm standing in front of you now. I am the example of this. I'm a public school baby, right? And yet that opportunity through public schooling gave me the opportunity, so long as I worked hard for it, and I did. I didn't go to prom. I was studying for the SATs. That got me into an Ivy League. Okay, so again, my question to you is, I would have not had that opportunity if not for the Department of Education. Why are you voting away the opportunity to, for example, pursue an Ivy League as a public school student? Why are you voting away that opportunity? Can you explain that?
I'm not so much voting away that opportunity. The point of...
But you are, right? You're saying you want to defund the Department of Education. The point is federal funding will be cut for public school students that reside in rural America.
Yes.
So what are you going to do to create an equal opportunity for them after you snatch the opportunity that they currently have?
It's not so much defunding the Department of Education. It's completely abolishing.
Right. Statement stands. Defund, abolish, same thing. So rural Americans lose the opportunity. So now how are you going to provide them with an equal opportunity to, for example, be on a competitive playing field with that of a private school student? A private school student from a wealthy neighborhood, let's say Beverly Hills, is going to receive a stronger chance at getting into an Ivy League than that of a public school student who doesn't even have federal funding to support their curriculum.
So say where I live right now, which is a highly populated area, my county is got about right around 100,000 people in it. So we pay...
That's not rural, to be clear. That's not rural whatsoever. So you're redundant to me, right? Again, no, I'm not asking you about your... I said you said, right, you're saying your county has 100,000 people in it. I'm not asking you about a suburban or urban community. I'm talking about rural Americans. They're the ones who are getting screwed over here, so you got to mention them. You won't talk about them for some reason. So let me rephrase this again, and I need you to stay on topic. I don't care about your suburban hometown. I didn't have that opportunity. I wish I could have grew up in the suburbs. I didn't get that. So I'm asking you again, for somebody like me who is a rural American, who grew up in rural America, who had federal funding through the Department of Education, who gave him an opportunity to pursue an Ivy League, something that a lot of folks don't get to do. Why are you looking to eliminate that opportunity of an Ivy League and eliminate the federal funding that supported my curriculum?
Right.
You know that's going to hurt rural Americans. Start it off with rural America. Talk about that first. I don't care about your suburb hometown.
What I need you to listen to is what I'm trying.
We've been on this for 15 minutes. You haven't gotten to the point yet. Don't gaslight me into thinking that I'm not letting you speak. Don't do that. Stay on the subject. You haven't mentioned rural America once, and I'm telling you that they're the ones who are going to get hurt.
Yes, I'm trying to explain to you how they're not, but you cut me off every time I start.
There you go. You're saying they're not going to get hurt?
No, they're not, and here is why. So our areas that pay most of the we pay federal taxes, that goes to the federal government, that goes to the Department of Education, they put the money back into us, correct? That's how the process works. Instead, we're cutting out the middleman. The money goes to our state, we pay more in state
taxes. There's no
money.
money. So the federal Department of Education is responsible for allocating dollars through Congress towards your schooling. The issue is if you restrict the Department of Education, or in your case, abolish it, there is nowhere for Congress to allocate that funding. They can drop money.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Right. So again, you're saying that they're just going to drop it to the states. They won't. But let's just say that they do drop it to the state. That still leaves it up to the state to allocate that funding in a non-equal manner. And that is to be the case. We see that in Pennsylvania as a prime example, where their education system was actually found unconstitutional because it was prioritizing that of city folks than it was rural American. So, and this is also not new to Pennsylvania. It's across the country we see this. So now it brings me back to my point, and I need you to talk about the reality of the situation. When you cut federal funding and federal oversight for a rural American's opportunity in their public schooling, you are cutting away their future. Where is the opportunity for them then if they no longer have access to an equal opportunity to that of somebody who resides in a city? We got to stay on rural America, and you're just saying it helps them. It doesn't. They're not. Nope. Let's not gaslight it. Period.
There are two places that severely suffer in Alabama, right? There's your high schools with like James U. Blacksher, which is a rural school. And then there are your high schools like Davidson, which is an inner city school. Those two schools suffer equally. They cannot get quality teachers. What Alabama currently is trying to do is bring in quality teachers to these schools.
Okay, but my statement stands. That's because Alabama is ranked as one of the worst and god-awful states to receive an education in the nation. That's on your governor, right? Because again, we recognize it's not about federal funding there. It's about your governor having a weak workforce development program and a god-awful curriculum that doesn't benefit your students academically. Other states don't have that issue. But again, my question is, can you just respond to why you're trying to cut away equal opportunity for those in rural America? Because they're not going to be able to sit on the same playing field and have a competitive vision to that of a wealthy child from Beverly Hills who went to a Christian private school. Because mommy and daddy could pay for that. Mommy and daddy couldn't pay for my Christian private school, right? So why did they get either, right? But now you're not understanding here. You grew up in the suburbs?
50,
okay, so yes, you grew up in the suburbs. Then you're still ahead of that of a rural American. So I understand that you can't see what a rural American sees because you've never lived it. Here's an example of what a rural American sees. Consider it like this. The same way that you MAGA Republicans are putting somebody like RFK Jr. in charge of health, when rural Americans, for example, have on average 1 hospital or 0 hospitals per county. For example, in rural America, where you call to get an ambulance and it takes well over an hour for them to arrive. So God forbid you have a stroke, it's lights out. You're never going to understand that. That's not something you grew up with. So I understand that you can't comprehend the issue with stripping away federal funding for education, but I need you to explain to me why you're still trying to do that when you recognize it will hurt that of the rural population. Right? Yes or no? Do you understand that cutting federal funding will lead to rural America's children not having an equal opportunity to that of a child in a private school in Beverly Hills? Do you understand that?
I don't believe in my community. I don't
care about your suburban household in Alabama. Again, I'm asking you, do you understand what I just said as fact? If you don't, then there's nowhere else to go in this conversation. You're just ignoring facts. So that's what I'm trying to understand here.
I disagree with you.
You don't get to. Right? You don't get to disagree on that. That is statistically proven. No, I do, because that is the fact. So again, if you're going to strip away federal funding from rural Americans who rely on federal funding through public schooling, so that you can prioritize the private schooling of wealthier students who are already at an advantage to that of a rural American, then you have the problem. But hold on, I just repeated again. Are you really saying that what I just said doesn't make sense, or that you think I'm wrong on that?
This question.
Can you explain to me how cutting federal funding for public schooling students in rural Pennsylvania or rural West Virginia or rural Alabama would help them in a competitive playing field with that of a city person who's in a private tuition? Can you explain?
Can I ask you a question?
I just need a response to that. You haven't responded once, and I've asked well over a dozen times. That's not even an exaggeration, right?
Yes, I understand, but you allow me to speak for a little bit?
No, I really don't. I just need an answer, and then you can ask, right? But you haven't answered, so I'm not going to let you pivot from it. The issue is that you won't hold yourself accountable to what you're saying. Can you give me one good reason why cutting the public schooling funding of a rural American's opportunity, how would that put them on an even playing field
if
to
we
that
were
of a
to,
private school student from a wealthier district that can pay for it. Go ahead.
if we were to cut the Department of Education, each state would have their own education system, their own department.
They already have that. Every
Place.
state has a Department of
Yes,
Education. That's
okay.
not
So,
new.
so
You're just saying
agreeing
you're going
with
to take
me.
away their funding.
No, that's not saying that
Sandra,
we would
thank
take
you so
away
much
their
for the
funding.
$5. I appreciate the love.
That would say that money goes directly to the states, which means that we would each
No,
have.
they're not going to. That's not how that works. They're not allocating funding like that. Huh?
So what? You think the money still goes to the Fed if there's
They
no Department
reallocate
of
the funding
Education
elsewhere. When you don't have a
reallocate the money?
Department of Education, so there's no oversight to tell where and how that money operates and goes. For example, the Department of Education, right, through stats and data analysis, recognizes how much money needs to be allocated to each state. By eliminating the Department of Justice, right, you said abolish it, you no longer have that oversight. So you don't know how much money goes to where, and that's where the constitutional crisis comes in, because children aren't going to receive equal access to an education. And again, this is where rural Americans come in. Their school district will be severely underfunded compared to that of a wealthier private school student. And I'm not done. It's also important to recognize that even with the oversight now, it's still an issue. Pennsylvania is a good example. The oversight issue is still it's still a problem, right? You're saying get rid of oversight altogether. Well, now you'll have a crisis. Right? I'm cool with us. Listen, we could stop funding Alabama if you MAGA Republicans want that. Like, y'all can, we can. You guys do you, right? You've seceded once before. It didn't work. But anyway, listen, you can do whatever you want there. You want to get yourself defunded when it comes to Department of Education's funding. That's fine and dandy. You do you. There's a reason why the top 5 dumbest states in the nation are all Republican. The top 5 most intelligent states in the nation are all Democratic. And I think we would like to continue receiving federal funding if that'd be okay.
Yeah. I wonder what the crime rates look in those states as well, dog.
Well, let's ask Donald Trump. He's committed enough, right?
Yeah.
That's added a lot to Florida. 34 felonies. Libel, sexual abuse, libel, civil fraud. Gosh, Florida's crime rate must be through the roof.
I'll tell
Talking
you
about crime and you voted for a felon criminal? Really?
I mean, we can both agree those are trumped up charges.
No, we can't agree on that. We can both agree that Donald Trump is a criminal, right? You agree that he's a criminal?
I mean, look, I ain't gonna lie to you.
You agree he's a criminal?
No, I don't think
we can both agree that he is. I think we both agree that he should be behind bars, locked up in a prison cell, right? We can both agree on that, I'm sure.
I think
any reasonable person would agree that he's a criminal, right? Committed rape. I mean, I'm sure you agree with that.
I think that we could both agree that anybody
that he's a criminal. Yeah, he's a criminal.
Anybody that ever
we can both agree he's a felon, sexual predator, right? We both agree.
I think that we could both agree that anybody
that he's a criminal
in politics is a felon.
Anybody who steps foot in politics is a felon. That's what you were just going to say. Help me understand this. Let's talk about Matt Gaetz. Donald Trump appointed. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, you voted for it by voting for Donald Trump. So now you got to own up to that.
I'm not
so
a
you
big
have
Matt Gaetz fan.
Excuse me.
I don't have to
you have.
like
Excuse you. More likely, you voted for Donald Trump, somebody who committed sexual abuse, right? I mean, that was a unanimous jury of 9 people who didn't even have to vote unanimously. They just knew that he was guilty of that very crime. And mind you, that was a jury appointed by his own lawyers. He paid people to appoint a jury, and that jury found him guilty. So help me better understand it. It doesn't matter. They're in New York. They were Republicans. They were Republicans. Your lawyers paid for them. Your lawyers were paid to appoint them. So help me understand again.
Mitt Romney, Republican.
Excuse me. Okay, sure. You just keep moving that goalpost, right? So help me better understand this, and try not to move the goalpost here. I'm sure you will, though.
How do you
help me better understand? Donald Trump appoints. Donald Trump, I know you want to pivot from Matt Gaetz. You got to own this, right? This is you. This is your party. So Donald Trump appoints Matt Gaetz to be an attorney general. Okay. Listen, first off, he's unqualified for that. We know that. He has no prerequisite.
He is an attorney.
Nope, has never prosecuted a case. Ever. So,
but he does have his law degree,
and which he has not touched in well over a decade.
I mean, I agree.
I'm not done. I'm not done. That's not my issue. That's not my issue. My issue is that in 2 days, technically tomorrow, the ethics report into his inappropriate behavior with a minor was going to be released. And now it's not in the jurisdiction of Congress because he decided to resign the moment he was announced to be Attorney General. Nobody has ever, to be clear, nobody has ever resigned upon receiving an invite to serve in a presidential cabinet. He is the first to do so. And he did so because he knew that Congress would lose the jurisdiction to release the ethics report. So clearly there was something in the ethics report that was god-awful. And we know there is because the attorney that oversaw the ethics violation said that he indeed was with a minor and that they're looking to leak the report. You can look that up. So again, why are you supporting the party that supports that kind of corrupt behavior?
So I already said I don't like Matt Gaetz. And
you voted for it though, right?
Here's how, but Matt Gaetz,
you knew what you were going to get. But Donald Trump, right, committed sexual abuse.
General.
But he will be, right? So again,
he has to pass through the vote.
Right, but you're not understanding. Donald Trump selected him.
Have the trifecta.
You don't like Matt Gaetz, and my point is that he clearly committed this crime, which involved inappropriate behavior with an underage girl. And I'm telling you, that speaks volumes to Donald Trump's character, the fact that somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse decided to appoint him. But you seem to not be connecting the dots here. You have somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse appointing somebody who is being investigated and just ran from those charges by resigning from Congress, being the first to ever do so for an appointment he hasn't even been confirmed on for inappropriate behavior with a minor. You're saying that doesn't sound an alarm for you?
I genuinely believe that it is a move to get Matt Gaetz completely out of government. And here's why.
That wasn't
Here's why. Matt Gaetz has already stepped down. You've already said that. He's already resigned his post.
Right, because he was running away from the ethics violations.
But he has to pass through the voting.
Right, and you're saying he's not going to pass the voting, and I agree. Listen, I've already talked to a few aides over at I'm well intertwined in these circles. I've already talked to a few aides. I'm well aware he's not going to get the votes. There's a chance he does, but Collins, for example, that's out of the question. My point is, they're also Kevin McCarthy, not Mitch McConnell. Goodness gracious. The issue is that, again, that shouldn't be your first concern. Donald Trump wasn't looking to get him out of Congress. And if that be the case, then that means he was also getting him. Being said, more than likely there will be recess appointments where they can just go towards recess and appoint the slate of cabinet members throughout those 6 weeks. Numerous legislatures across the country have done this. They're looking to do it nationally right now, so he might not even need the votes, right? Okay, that being said, Donald Trump, somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse, appointed him. That should sound an alarm for you, but it hasn't. Why are you running away? You done? Should I get the cowbell? Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Yeah, but I'm just going to keep going with the bell.
That's fair enough.
Yeah! You don't, Excuse me, I'm ringing my bell.
I'm sorry, man. You don't seem like...
Next. That was too long of a conversation for that nut. Folks, we are going to do a live stream restart real quick. The algorithm ain't pushing it. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button in the top left corner. Join our family. We will be right back. Hit that follow button, top left corner. You'll get a notification that we're live again, and we'll jump back in and continue having conversations. Hope that everybody's having a good night. We will be right back. Let's have a chat. If you voted for Kamala Harris, please do hit the like button, hit the share button. Help us get this up to 10,000 likes. We are almost there. That's very, wow, y'all are a little too quick. Trumpers are going to start saying that you rigged the count. I see somebody saying hello from Atlanta. Hello, Atlanta. Where y'all coming in from? We got Pennsylvania. I'm a Pennsylvanian. We got Pennsylvania in the house. Folks, again, if you voted for Donald Trump, join the guest request. If you voted for Kamala Harris, hit the like button, hit the share button. Please do help us get to 20,000 likes because apparently 10,000 was too easy for you. Let's get up our first guest. I'm sure that it will be a reasonable person and certainly not a far-right goblin. Let's see. Oh, they didn't even come up. Oh, we see some Erie, Pennsylvania in the chat. Hello, where's all my Pennsylvanians at? Where's all our Pennsylvanians at? Pennsylvania in the house. Let's go. Let's go. I see Wilkes. Oh, go Hi. Birds. Fly, Eagles, Hi. Fly. Hi.
I tried to
Sorry, I was in the vibe.
It's okay.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I tried to cancel my request.
You're good. Thank you for coming up anyhow. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you did vote for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about that. I have a few questions. Actually, I got a lot of questions, starting with, were you dropped on your head as a baby? Anyway. Okay, that guest wasn't coming up. Let's get up our next one. Again, if you did vote for Donald Trump, join the guest request. If you voted for Kamala Harris, hit the like button, hit the share button, help us get to 30,000 likes. Hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Am I coming through?
Fetus deletus, poof, and let's get up our next guest. Hopefully an adult. Hi, guest, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Gotcha. How old are you?
He already won.
Ma'am, are you going to run away now?
No.
Okay, great. So how old are you?
20.
Okay, when were you born?
2004.
Okay, so help me better understand this. You just came up to me to tell me to get over it. Ma'am, I was voting to fight for your rights and freedoms. To be clear, in Donald Trump's America, I'm the top of the food chain.
It's up to the
Ma'am,
state.
no, ma'am. Listen very closely to what I'm about to say. You came in here to say I'm the loser and you're the winner. But ma'am, in Donald Trump's America, I'm the top of the food chain. I'm number one. I'm the priority. I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted us to be on an equal playing field. That's why I voted for Kamala, because I didn't need to be the top of the food chain, right? You know, I'm grateful when we can all thrive and be uplifted together. That's what I believe in. That's how I was raised. You, on the other hand, clearly don't. So help me understand that again. Why would you vote away your own right to choose?
Because everyone's only reason to vote for Kamala is because of abortion rights.
That's not true whatsoever. We can talk about economic policy, border policy, but I assume you don't know any policy, so we don't even got to go there.
Border policy is Trump's idea.
Sorry, did you say border policy is Trump's idea? Did those words just come out of your mouth?
He doesn't
Is that what
want
you just
Trump's,
said? Do you think that Donald Trump established the border? Do you think that this is new?
No.
Okay.
But
so help me understand here. What is Donald Trump's border policy?
He doesn't want any more illegals in this country.
Okay, and how is he going to ensure that there aren't any?
So we don't have to pay these taxes and all this shit for people.
That doesn't make any sense. Help me understand this.
As a citizen.
Help me understand this. In Florida, they passed SB 1718. That means Senate Bill 1718. That Senate bill cut 40% of the workforce in agriculture because 40% of farmers were undocumented migrants in Florida. So they were kicked out. Democrats put forth the Farm Workforce Modernization Act that was going to provide a pathway to citizenship for them because they recognize that that causes a workforce development crisis for farmers. And yet Republicans blocked it because they don't want a legal pathway to citizenship. They just don't want migrants here whatsoever, legal or illegal. So you have 40% less farmers in Florida, and that led to a $13 billion drop in Ron DeSantis' GDP. Nationally, this is going to cut 40% of farmers and $300 to $450 billion in our GDP, which you're going to have to pay in taxes to make up that gap. What's your solution for farmers? Because you're going to have a manufacturing and production crisis in the agricultural industry. So your costs on produce and groceries are going to go up. And what is your solution to?
They're going to go down.
I just explained exactly how they would go up,
They're
sweetheart.
up
Pay
right now.
attention.
They're
And then
gonna go
two, how are you going to solve the GDP gap? Go ahead.
They're not going to go up. Prices are.
How are they not going to go up? I just
Then
explained exactly how they went up. Chat, did you understand what I just said? Because apparently she didn't. Chat, did you understand what I said? Because she's confused.
Prices are not going to go up. They're going to go down. Gas is way too high.
How are prices going to go down? How are prices going to go down?
He's going to fix the inflation rate.
How? The inflation rate is what exactly? You don't know. 2.1%. Do you know what it was under Trump? 2.4. You can only drop the inflation rate so far. Ma'am, no, that's true. That's the fact. So can you tell me again, why are you, looking for an increase on your grocery costs? Because I just explained exactly how your costs on groceries will go up. And to be clear, I mentioned production and agriculture when it comes to mass deportation. I didn't even talk about his tariffs yet.
I wouldn't vote for someone that can't speak in public and answer any questions.
No, I didn't vote for Trump. I said I voted for Kamala. Yeah, I said I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Kamala. Kamala speaks fine. She's a prosecutor. I vote for the incoherent one.
Pharmacy,
But anyway, so why did you vote for the man who doesn't like undocumented or illegal migrants unless he's marrying them?
Sorry, what?
Did I stutter?
I was just reading a comment.
I'm shocked you can read. Wow. So help me better understand again. How are you going to ensure that costs go down on groceries? Because I know exactly how they're going to go up. I just explained it.
They're not going to go up. They're going to go down.
How?
Because we're turning it around. We're going from Democratic to Republican. When it was Democratic.
What state are you from? Alabama? Mississippi?
No, I'm from Mass.
You're from Massachusetts?
Yeah.
I know that Maura Healey did better than this in her education system. Girl, you can't be from Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's a Democratic state, which is sad.
It's a Democratic state with a strong education system, but apparently mommy and daddy being related didn't help your brain develop, so something went wrong here.
I only study science and math.
Apparently not.
I'm not into politics like that, but I know I wouldn't
You
vote
came
for
onto
someone
a political debate to talk politics, and you're saying you're not into politics. Okay. You good? It's a little early to be sundowning. And by early, I mean early in life. I thought you said you were 20. How are you already sundowning? That shouldn't happen until later.
Chemistry, biology, anatomy, immunology.
Oh, you want to talk anatomy? Okay, you overthrew your right to choose, so we don't got to talk anatomy. Let's talk once more regarding, and use those math skills for me. Maybe you know a little data analysis. Tell me exactly how you're going to cut costs when it comes to groceries, because I just told you exactly how they're going to increase. Can you tell me how you're going to cut them? Oh, you can't. You're going to say something like, we're going from red to blue. Of course he's going to get cut.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Great education you got there.
You said it for me.
You get past preschool?
Yeah, I'm a junior in college.
You got your GED? You know it's pronounced GED, right?
No, I got my high school diploma.
Oh, sure? It sounds like you got a GED. You got your GED?
Accent is not Bostonian.
Do you know Lauren Boebert?
Of course it's not. I'm not from Boston. I'm an hour from Boston.
Do you know Lauren Boebert?
No.
I think you'd like her. She also got her GED.
No, I got my high school
I'm Lauren Boebert. Beetlejuice. I got my GED.
High school diploma, and I'm getting my bachelor's, master's, and master's in business.
Let me guess. Art therapy?
No.
Well, you clearly didn't get it in business. Let's be honest here. You can't even tell me exactly how Donald Trump is going to cut costs when it comes to groceries. Ma'am, if you're getting a diploma when it comes to business, you should return that immediately. Considering you also voted against your own interests when Kamala Harris was saying she was going to increase the small business entrepreneur startup incentive from 5,000 to 50,000. 5,000. Excuse you.
Not paying.
Kamala Harris was going to increase the startup entrepreneurship initiative by 5,000 to 50,000, and you voted against that. Congrats. Yay, you.
I'm for working my ass off, making my money, and not paying lazy people to sit at home.
Ma'am, I know for a fact that the only money you're spending is coming out of daddy's wallet, right? Like,
it's coming from my wallet because I have scholarship.
You just said you have scholarships and you're voting for the guy who's defunding the Department of Education? Girl, hold on. You just turned, no, you got your GED. 2.0 GPA. You just turned around to me and said you have scholarships, and yet you voted for the guy who's looking to abolish the Department of Education.
I got scholarships.
Girl, get out. Hold on. We're going to do a little, on the count of three, everybody, we're going to do a little fetus deletus. 3, 2, 1. Fetus deletus. Poof, and she's gone. Oh my gosh. Y'all. Really? Massachusetts? Massachusetts? I ain't buying it. Massachusetts.
Hey, what's up, man?
Ew. Next. Thank you. Next. Hello, guest. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yo, what's up, bro? I actually didn't vote. I wish I kind of did. I just didn't have the opportunity to do that. So.
Hello, guest. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Okay, it sounds like you're in a fish tank. We're going to get up our next guest. Guys, if you voted for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's get up our next guest. Hello, guest. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hello.
Hello? Do you know how to work a cell phone? It ain't that hard, right? Y'all want to run the country, but you don't know how to work a cell phone?
I was connecting my AirPods.
Oh, great. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you vote for the criminal?
I voted for Donald Trump.
Okay, so my statement stands. Why'd you vote for the criminal?
Just seemed like the better option.
Huh? Let me get this right. So you have the prosecutor, and you said the felon, rapist, fraudster. I mean, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Really, that's the way to go? Was it the haircut? Because we can do that.
I mean,
It's Donald J. Trump here. My hands, see, I have Italian hands, so they're too big. So you gotta have little tiny baby hands like Donald Trump. That's what you do. It's me, Donald Trump, your favorite convicted felon. The 34 felonies I have. Your favorite 45th convicted felon of these United States. Man, yeah, I call her Mercedes. She also agrees I am dementia. I have the dementias. So anyway, why again do you think that Donald Trump was the better option? Do you want to elaborate on this in between your sundowning?
yeah. So why is it like something to brag about, like taking away people's freedoms?
Well, let's ask Donald Trump, who violated the Second Amendment by implementing a bump stock ban in direct violation of said Second Amendment, having been overturned in June of this year by his own Supreme Court. Stop the background noise. I don't know what you're doing, but it's got to stop. Right?
Yeah, but like taking away people's freedom is like not.
Are you delayed? Are you good? Put the drink down, right? It's Thursday. It ain't even Friday yet. My gosh. Let's get up our next guest. Goodness gracious. Like he was straight up trying to escape jail. He was filing the bars.
Hello?
Can you wait a second? Oh my god.
Alright, it's been a second. Is that a Pikachu?
Chat, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Help us get to 100,000 likes. Hit the share button on the live stream. Help us push this out on the algorithm to get more guests into the guest requests. If you do like what you're hearing today and you want to support me but feel no need to, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio. But another way you could support me is by hitting that follow button in the top left corner and joining our little family. We do these conversations every single day. Guest, are you still here?
Let's get this video to 150,000 likes. Yep.
Anyway, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Run up the... Yep.
Ew. Why?
Because I knew he was going to win and I put a ton of money on him.
Oh, gotcha. So you were betting on the rights of women getting lost. That's... Wow, you must be so fun at parties. People must just love you.
You called Pennsylvania for Kamala.
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Play the clip. Play the clip. Go.
I don't have a clip of it.
Oh, shocker. A Republican saying something he has no proof of? Oh, gosh. I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted. I am. Oh, gosh. I am just. Wow. I am shocked. Hold on. What is the source again? Video?
Yeah, I was...
No video? Oh, gosh, I'm so shocked. A Republican with no evidence of something claiming that something happened. I'm so shocked and flabbergasted.
Oh, and I'm
Who could have
shocked
ever
you
saw
don't
that
have
happening?
integrity.
So tell me again, you betted against a woman's right to choose. I'm sorry, are you religious?
A little.
Okay, well, apparently not. I mean, God would hate that kind of behavior. You voted against a woman's right to choose, against her opportunity to be equal to that of a man. You voted against those rights. And yet, you made money off of that. I mean,
Kamala couldn't have.
Let me tell you right now, if you got a one-way ticket, it ain't upstairs.
Kamala could not.
That's pretty god evil, don't you think?
Wade.
help me understand. Donald Trump nominated 3 Supreme Court justices and they overturned Roe v. Wade. Now, this led to a woman's right to choose being stripped away in its entirety. You look at, for example, Texas, where Kate Cox couldn't receive an abortion for her non-viable pregnancy, almost took her life. Look at Georgia. Amber Thurman did lose her life because of your abortion ban. Now, you said right then and there that you voted for Donald Trump knowing all that, but solely because you wanted to make money by voting against a woman's right to choose. That is actually evil. Like, maybe you didn't know that. That is evil. I feel like there's got to be something in the Bible about that.
Evil?
Might be time to add another commandment. I feel like thou shalt not bet on a woman losing her right to choose and then profiting off of you voting against her right to choose. It might be something to add to the Bible.
What do you think about Tashika wishing death on Dean?
I have no idea what you're even talking about. What does that... The streamers?
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure
if they're going through something, they can go through something. What does that have to do with what I just asked you? What was that pivot? That was like asking, hold on. That was like asking me about, Johnny, what do you think about Teresa Giudice getting imprisoned for tax evasion and her husband getting deported? How is that relevant? What just happened here? If people got to go work out whatever they got going on, fine and dandy. What does that have to do with me? What was that? That was a weird pivot. Answer again. You voted against a woman's right to choose and made money off of doing so. Do you think that that's quality or holy behavior? Because that sounds god evil to me.
I mean, since when did we ever make this about religion?
You said yourself you're religious, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't say that's what I was using to justify this.
You are religious, and I'm telling you that you, in the eyes of God, just did something god-awful. You voted against a woman's right to choose so that you could profit. That's what you literally said. That is morally wrong. That is evil. You understand? That behavior is evil.
It's not... Trump winning presidency does not equal restricting...
Can you speak coherently? It might be hard for you, but it shouldn't be that hard for you.
Okay, if Trump were to win the presidency, that doesn't...
Can you answer the question? Why did you profit off of voting against a woman's freedom?
Because I knew the Don was going to pull it off.
Okay. Chat, before I kick him, feel free to say whatever you want to him in the chat. Go for it. Guest, you don't get to speak again. The same way you're trying to strip away a woman's right to choose, I'm stripping away your freedom to speak. Ah! Nope. No speaking for you. No speaking for you. See? No speaking for you. You're done. All right, on the count of 3, everybody, let's do a little hocus pocus. 3, 2, 1. Hocus pocus. And poof, he's gone. Oh, good riddance. Good riddance. Let's get up our next guest. That pivot. Oh my God. I guess. Did you vote for Donald Trump? You got a lot of background noise. I'm going to get up our next guest. He was like, he really said something god awful and then it didn't want to get held accountable for it. You said you profited off of voting against a woman's right to choose. Come on. That's insane. TJ, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Well, everybody comment B if Johnny's a little bitch.
I want to see all the B's because it's true. And I also want to see everybody drop $5 in my Venmo if you agree that I am a little B. I want to see all the B's and I want to see all the $5 in my Venmos. Again, drop some dollars. I can be whatever you want me to be, guys. Drop $5 in my Venmo. Oh, he ran away. He didn't even want to converse. He didn't even want to converse. What happened? Listen, my statement stands. Again, if you think I'm a little B, drop $5 in my Venmo right now. Drop 50 if you think I'm a big B. $5 if I'm a small B, a little B, $50 if I'm a big B. You heard it right there from that guest. I want to see all the B's in the chat. I want to see all the B's in my Venmo. That's funny. That's funny right there. Richard, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hi, I did vote for Donald Trump. What? Is there a problem?
Yeah, you know what the problem is. I know what the problem is.
Because all
too.
you do is bully people.
Lori, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo for being a big B. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate it. Anyway, no, I'm not going to say anything. So, anyway, why did you vote for Donald Trump?
It was the obvious decision.
Can you just speak coherently? Like, give me an actual reason as to why you voted for Trump. You don't got to say that it was.
We need border security, which he's doing.
What do you mean, which he's doing? He's not the president yet. What do you mean, which he's doing? Okay, so if border security is already underway, you say thanks, Joe Biden.
He had it in his last
What
term,
is Donald Trump's?
He's going to continue.
What is Donald Trump's plan to secure the border? Go ahead.
He literally was building a border his last term.
And Carl, this is giving roaches for raid. I don't even know what what is the slugs for
and
salt.
Biden literally let it go to shit 2 years ago, and now he's going to continue it.
That's not why I'm saying it's slugs for salt. Oh, Ashton, thank you for the $10 on Venmo for being a big B. Thank you, Ashton.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
why
Ashton.
he won. He won
Anyway,
the popular vote.
Listen,
so why are you
again,
still
I'm
debating
just trying
people
to
on
understand.
here?
I'm just trying to understand. It's giving roaches for raid and slugs for salt. Why are you voting against
because
your
you're
own
very
rights and interests?
I watch you and you like
Okay,
bully
stop
people.
watching me. Ew, let's get up our next guest. It's giving slugs for salt. He goes, I watch you. Maybe stop. That's kind of weird. My gosh. Like, if you wanted to come up here just to ask me out, just do it. You don't got to do this whole back and forth, blah, 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 right? It's not the first time I've had a MAGA Republican come up here, acting like that, saying nonsense like that, saying they've been watching me for days. Just ask me out. You guys don't got to do this whole thing, right?
Wow, great beat.
Zach, hi. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You vote for Donald Trump?
Hell no.
Thank you. Thank you for being smart. Anyhow, I'm going to get up our next guest. Is that cool?
Hey, do you.
I appreciate it, man. You have a good one. Let's get up our next guest. Finally, somebody with an education. Hello, guest. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I sure did.
Oh gosh, sounding like that. What state are you from?
Missouri.
Okay, I ain't gonna say anything. Just give me a sec. I ain't gonna say a single thing. All right? Where is it? No, that's not it. Give me a sec. Don't rush me now. Okay. I said don't rush me, man. Calm down. Hold on. I'm almost there. All right. I wasn't going to... Oh, no, wait. There we go.
I cannot see that.
Chat, you see it?
What is that?
It's a car. Anyway,
where are you from?
Your mom's house. So anyway, why'd you vote for Donald Trump?
I'm surprised you have a show on here and you're actually.
Can you just tell me why you voted for
house.
Donald Trump? Oh my gosh!
Which direction you want me to go in? Why would you not vote for Donald Trump?
Crying. Just give me a coherent answer. You voted for Donald Trump because, and now give a coherent reason.
He is going to fill the government, his chair, the seats, you name it, with people that actually will make decisions and make changes that need to take place.
Like RFK Jr.? Why are you advocating for polio? Like, you understand? I hope you got your polio shot. Then I get RFK Jr. You're like, people who are, in what sense is Matt Gaetz qualified to be Attorney General? Go ahead.
Who's the Attorney General now?
Excuse me, Merrick Garland, who was qualified enough to be a Supreme Court justice, somebody who has served on numerous circuit courts. In what sense is Matt Gaetz qualified to be Attorney General? Go ahead. Wait, why'd you X out? Don't chat GPT. Yeah, get back in. In what way is Matt Gaetz? You don't got to Google Matt Gaetz. How is Matt Gaetz qualified to be Attorney General?
Called me. I had to
Excuse you. Matt Gaetz. What qualification does he have to be Attorney General?
That's what I asked you.
I just told you Merrick Garland's qualifications. Now, can you tell me what are Matt Gaetz' qualifications, or you can't answer? If you don't answer, that means you can't answer this time. That's my last time asking you. If you don't answer, then you concede.
Why would you not give him a chance? Why do you
so
not
you
give him a
concede.
chance?
You don't know what his qualifications are. That's because he doesn't have any. Can you tell me what RFK Jr.'s qualifications are to be health secretary, considering this is the same guy who dumped the corpse of a bear in the middle of a park and advocates against vaccines? He eats roadkill. So tell me again, what is RFK Jr.'s? Excuse me.
I'm against.
That's not a qualification, though. That's actually that would be something to disqualify you, right? Because this is the health department. This isn't the anti-health department. So what are RFK Jr.'s qualifications to serve as health secretary?
Have you not watched any of his videos? I sit there and watch
I
him
try
talk
not
constantly.
to. I really try not to.
Well, there you go.
I don't like. Have you heard his voice?
He talks like this.
I'm not that interested in hearing that for hours on end. Thank you very much. I try to stay away from it.
I don't disagree with you on that. His voice does bother me. I'm kind of glad he didn't.
So point being, health secretary because he had a worm crawl into his brain. It unalived itself and ate a portion of his brain. Like, what is the... Huh? Michael, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it.
Why are you so... Let me ask you this.
Can you just tell me again, what are Merrick Garland's
Why are you so
qualifications?
anti-Trump and why are you so demeaning to people?
Oh, well, first off, it's not demeaning. Demeaning somebody is what you MAGA Republicans do. It's the same way in which that, for example, you MAGA Republicans were looking to strip away the right to choose of women. I'm not done.
Pulling up a picture of a car when I spoke.
You have a picture of a car in your profile photo as we speak. Don't be that sensitive. Now, do you know what is an issue and what is demeaning? Is what you MAGA Republicans did. And this is important and you got to recognize it. Your party and members of your party like Nick Fuentes running around saying it's your body, my choice to women after you voted away their right to choose. That is not acceptable. And for you to play the victim card and act like a snowflake when you quite literally mocked women for days on end since the election.
Do you know what Amendment 3 is?
Now, pay very attention to what I'm about to say. You asked why and stop with the projection. You're not the victim, right? You and I are no victim in Trump's America. We are, in fact, are you a white man?
I'm not going to answer that.
So you are.
I don't want you to judge me.
I'm not judging you. We're in the same boat then. In Donald Trump's America, we're not the victim. So stop acting like you're a victim, right? You are in fact the top of the fucking food chain. What you did to women these past few days has horrid behavior, especially when they are losing their rights in Donald Trump's America. I'm not. What you said was god awful. Now I'm not done.
Wait.
You asked, you may stop speaking while I'm speaking. So you just asked why I hate Donald Trump or why I'm so anti-Trump. Let's make something clear. I grew up in rural America.
You pivoted too much.
I just answered your question. You asked me why I'm so anti-Trump, and I'm telling you, you are about to get slapped down, and you know that, and that's why you won't let me speak. But I will speak whether you like it or not, because if you don't shut up, I will shut you up. I have a mute button, and I'm more than happy to exercise that freedom. So listen very closely here. Again, you're projecting, spewing nonsense as though you're the victim, but in Donald Trump's America, you're no victim. You're the top of the food chain, as am I. So stop projecting here and recognize that these next 4 years aren't going to be hard for you. Economically, you're going to probably struggle. But it's the women on this channel listening in right now who are going to struggle far harder than you, and you act like the victim. Or Black Americans, LGBTQ plus Americans.
Not in Missouri.
Missouri especially. Now, take a step back and recognize something once more. You asked me why I'm so anti-Trump, and that answer is blatantly obvious. I have voted for Democrats and I have voted for Republicans. Donald Trump is no Republican. Donald Trump was called a fascist by his own chief of staff. His own vice president wouldn't run with him because he was asked to overturn the Constitution and dissolve specific amendments to enshrine Donald Trump in power when he lost a free and fair election. Donald Trump, who incited the textbook definition of an insurrection, was the only president to be twice impeached. Donald Trump, who empowered quid pro quos with Ukraine. Donald Trump, who refused to bring home U.S. Marine Paul Whelan or hold Vladimir Putin accountable for putting bounties on the heads of our soldiers back home in America. Donald Trump, who called our soldiers back home suckers and losers when he went about North Korea saluting their soldiers. photos of which are now getting used as war propaganda in North Korea. Donald Trump, the guy who violated the Second Amendment by implementing a bump stock ban. I'm a Second Amendment Democrat. I don't like when people touch my Second Amendment. You MAGA Republicans ran around saying to folks like me that Kamala was coming after our Second Amendment, when in fact she has no record of doing so. Donald Trump does. He violated my Second Amendment with his bump stock ban. And I don't care if you agree or disagree with that ban. It was unconstitutional, and that's why it was overturned by his own Supreme Court. He is a constitutional violator, a civil fraudster, a felon on 34 counts, a sexual abuser by a unanimous court finding him guilty. He is twice impeached, an insurrectionist, a fascist by definition according to his own chief of staff, and an anti-constitutionalist. But you're asking me why I'm anti-Trump? It's not that I'm anti-Trump, it's that Trump is anti-America. And the fact of the matter is, the only way Donald Trump won this election was by misleading Americans, and specifically uninformed Americans like yourself. You know, just this morning I had a conversation at a cafe I'd gone to, local Starbucks, saw a red hat. I made a whole video about this. Saw a red hat, and I asked him, why'd you vote for Trump? We sat down, and he was so misled that he said to me, and part of his answer why he voted for Trump was because Donald Trump was going to give him a $25,000 down payment so that he could buy a home. That is Kamala's policy, not Donald Trump's. Donald Trump never has mentioned such a thing. But voters like you are just so deeply ignorant that you didn't recognize you voted against your own interests. You don't understand the economy. You talk about mass deportation, for example, but you're too ignorant to recognize that that's going to lead to a 40% agricultural workforce development crisis and a GDP loss of $300 billion. You talk about how Donald Trump wants to implement tariffs, but you're too ignorant to recognize that that's actually going to increase your taxes. And that's not a hypothetical. That's what it did in 2017, 2018, right? You talk about Donald Trump wanting to cut your taxes when in fact he doesn't have a single policy to cut your tax unless it's at the expense of those cutting or garnering Social Security. For example, he's going to cut the Social Security income and corporate tax. Okay, so you get a few pennies back into your pocket, which is going to make no difference, right, when Donald Trump increases tariffs. But at the same time, those are the taxes that pay for Social Security. So elderly Americans are going to lose their lifeline so that you get a couple dollars back in your pocket to go buy a Pepsi. A Pepsi, mind you, that is more expensive, not because of taxes or because of inflation. Inflation is lower under Kamala and Joe than that of what it was under Donald Trump. 2.1% today, 2.4% under Donald Trump. You recognize actually that costs are higher because of price gouging. But pardon me, you don't recognize that because, again, you're ignorant. I recognize that because I've done the research. You advocate for defunding the Department of Education, but again, you don't recognize that's to keep you ignorant. Donald Trump wants more people like you, guest, you, and less people like me, who are intelligent enough to question the sanity of his decisions. He wants people like you, and you said you're from Missouri? Yeah, he wants people like you. Uneducated. Right? Mind you, the 5 dumbest states in the nation, all Republican. 5 smartest states in the nation, all Democratic. He's defunding the Department of Education because that hurts rural Americans. And where do rural Americans typically reside? Red states. Oh, gosh. Crazy. So again, you ask me why, I am anti-Trump. Again, it's not that I'm anti-Trump. Donald Trump is anti-America. You look at Donald Trump, he stripped away a woman's right to choose in its entirety, leading to women like Kate Cox not being able to seek an abortion for a non-viable pregnancy, and that's not freedom. So that's not the American way. I thought America stood on freedom. Apparently not. You look at Donald Trump, and once more, he turned around and stripped transgender Americans out of the military. He's looking to do so again. How is that freedom? That seems anti-freedom to me. I mean, they're putting their lives on the line to defend your life, but you don't want them there? Okay. Respond whenever you're ready. No, I didn't think so. But do not tell me that I didn't answer your question. I gave you a very detailed answer.
You there?
I decided I don't want to hear you speak again, just like RFK Jr. So then you look at Donald Trump's decisions and the cabinet appointments he's making right now. Look at Matt Gaetz, for example. Somebody found liable of sexual abuse appointed somebody who is currently getting investigated by the House Ethics Committee for god-awful crimes against an underage girl. That's what he appointed. Is that the American way? Or was it the American way when he put somebody in charge of the health department who's anti-vaccine? Hashtag polio. Right. So let's recognize I'm not anti-Trump. He's anti-America. Did you know he's never read the Constitution? Did you know that? He's never read it. Never read it. I have like 12 copies of the Constitution, all different formats. I love this copy the best because it includes numerous interpretations as to what the articles mean with a foreword written by Amy Coney Barrett. Ain't that crazy? So again, I'm just trying to understand here, you voted for somebody who's never read the Constitution unless he was selling his name on one. Same with the Bible, which I'm pretty sure something about the Bible says don't put your name on this and try to sell copies of it. But nonetheless, he did. I'm pretty sure somewhere in the Constitution there was something about church and state, but clearly he didn't know about that either. So can you just give me one good reason as to why you voted for Donald Trump and this time tell me in a coherent manner? Unmute. You have 3 seconds to unmute or I'm moving on. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, baby.
There you go. Good boy. Look at that. It's crazy how you figure it out when I tell you have 3 seconds.
I saw your lips stop moving. I turned my speaker down.
Shelly, oh my gosh. Okay, first off, I got to do some thank you. So I'm going to put you on mute again. You're back on mute. Shelly, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. That is beyond kind. And Sophie for the $5. Thank you so much. Tanya as well for the $10. Guys, Molly for the $5. Molly says that I'm a big B. Thank you for the $5 for being a big B. W big B's in the chat. Michael, and thank you for the $5 as well. Y'all are too nice. Thank you so much for the love. Lori as well. Thank you for the $25. Guys, that is beyond kind. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Carly, thank you so much. Ashton, thank you, folks. That is beyond kind. Thank you so much. Oh, he ran away. The guest ran away. Anyway, thank you so much to anybody who had just contributed. If you did just do that, please, write your username on that so that I can follow you after this. I want to make sure that I'm following you. I mean, those are your hard-earned dollars. Like, I am beyond grateful for that kind of blessing. Please let me follow you, Like, go on into that Venmo or PayPal. Like, write your name on that. I want to follow you. If that's okay. I know that some folks prefer not to do that, and that's fine too. Thomas, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Well, let's see a bunch of B's in the chat for Johnny being a bitch.
WB's in the chat. Let's go. Again, folks, drop those B's in my Venmo. Drop those B's in the chat.
You are such a
Thomas,
bitch.
thank you for coming up, man. I appreciate it. WB's. Let's get some WB's in the chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. B stands for so many things. Blue, baddie. There's probably not a good acronym for that word, is there? Is there an acronym for that? No, I don't think so. Hello, guest. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
Can you stop eating in the why are we?
I'm not eating.
Oh, okay. You're just chewing on one of your teeth. Did another one fall out?
Nope.
Okay, so you voted for the criminal because?
Because I have the right to vote for who I want.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Because I have the right to vote for who I want.
Right, and I have the right to squeak this chicken into the microphone, but just because I have the right to do so doesn't mean I should exercise that right. Right? Ashley, thank you for the $5 on Cash App. I appreciate the love. So tell me again, you voted for somebody who was found liable with sexual abuse, civil fraud, and who has 34 felony convictions, somebody who violated the Constitution. And I'm not even talking about him attempting to overthrow the election or the fact that his own vice president won't run with him because of that very issue, but I'm talking about the Second Amendment and his bump stock ban, which was signed via executive order and overturned in June of this year by his own Supreme Court. Donald Trump, who was called a fascist by his own chief of staff. Why would you vote for that? Can you give me one good reason?
That's what you say, but he still won.
That's not what I say. It's
not
what happened.
It's not going to help you. So you're just
You're not going to respond
because you're sad because he won.
I'm sad.
Yeah, you're sad because he won. You
I'm
guys
sad.
are probably shocked.
I'm sad.
Yeah, you look sad.
Are you new here?
I think I see like a tear coming out of your eye.
Hold on. Give me one sec. Somebody dropped 25 in my Venmo. I'll drop some tears. I got the eye drops. It's almost out because you MAGA Republicans have been using so much of them up. See, it's almost empty. Anyway, so help me better understand this again. In Donald Trump's America, I'm very much the top of the food chain. So you saying that I'm upset? No, I'm deeply upset because you stripped away the rights of women to make me the top of the food chain when I wanted to protect the rights of women. But for you to come up here and say, Johnny, you're the loser. No, you forced me to be the winner. That's not what I wanted. I wanted us to be on an equal playing field. You quite literally voted against the interests of women. Why did you vote? Excuse me. I have a job. I'm your daddy. So tell me again, why did you vote against the interests of women, and why did you strip away their right to choose? Oh, did daddy leave or milk never came back? Excuse me. Ew. Nope, you said that wrong. That's not. Hold on. That ain't the way. Nope, you're not supposed to say it like that. That was not the way you're supposed to. Nope. You tried to clap back and you said it wrong, and that was not it. That was actually gross. That was gross. You said it wrong. So again, if you want to clap back on somebody when they slap you down, practice first. That was I don't think you know what you just said. That was giving Uncle Daddy right there. You missed it. That's You went to clap and you completely missed. That was disgusting. So let's get back into this. You voted against the interests of women across the board. You come up here to tell me that I'm the loser, but let's recognize here that white men in America are actually now the forced winner in an America that should have never existed. This America should believe in equal opportunity across the board, and we don't now, right? Because women are now less than that of a white man. Especially black women are now less than that of a white man because you voted that way. I voted for equal opportunity. You voted against women. Why did you vote against women?
That's your opinion. That's not
an
my
opinion. Was it an opinion when Kate Cox couldn't seek an abortion for her non-viable pregnancy? No, that's what happened.
The girls in my life have the same opportunities, same privileges.
Listen, your sister mama, I get it. You already mentioned the whole Uncle Daddy thing. You and your sister mama, I get that the girls in your life probably are talking with one tooth to their name, but the fact of the matter is, we're talking about women across America here, right? So help me understand here. You voted against the rights of women.
So your objective on this live
What was worth it to you? My objective on this live is to hold you accountable for voting against the rights of women and for a fascist. Now I'm asking you again, and this will be my last time asking you. If you can't answer, just concede. And if you don't answer, then that's you conceding. What was worth it to you when you voted against the rights of women? What was the reason that led you to vote against the rights of women? To send us back to the early 1900s, what was worth it to you?
I'm not answering your question.
Of course not. So you concede. You did something
No,
god
I don't
awful, and now you
concede.
don't
I
want
just know
to. You
you're not
concede.
right.
You're not going to answer,
You're
so you
wrong.
won't
You're
concede.
wrong.
You concede.
You're wrong. You're
Let's get
wrong.
some L guests in the
You're
chat.
wrong.
You concede. You won't even answer a simple question.
No, I voted for him because the current administration is not doing anything
You said
to
Helm.
help America.
I voted for
So
Helm.
how did they help Ukraine?
You didn't respond to the question.
Well, I'm just asking you, how did they help Ukraine? They actually helped start the war. They helped start
No,
wars.
first
and
off,
they
if that's what
don't
you
bring
genuinely
peace.
think, then you're exactly the kind of voter that Donald Trump is looking for, uneducated. Which
I'm not uneducated, sir. I probably have more degrees than you do.
What are they in? Art therapy?
Chemical engineering.
Still doesn't apply here. Ain't that crazy? So help me better understand this.
What did you do to help the economy?
Excuse you.
Sit here and talk.
Excuse you. Excuse
Is
you.
that all you do?
Excuse you. So I'm trying to better understand this. You look at Donald Trump and you mention Ukraine. I'm shocked that the word Ukraine came out of your mouth when Donald Trump, his solution to Ukraine is renuclearizing Ukraine. You understand that when Donald Trump says he wants to defund Ukraine, which mind you, those funds are through weaponry.
So Biden's administration actually caused the war, by the way.
That's not true, by the way. Donald Trump is looking to violate the Budapest Memorandum, which would lead to the renuclearization of Ukraine. Because you don't know this, because again, your degree doesn't apply here, and you might want to return that degree. I assume you got it in your little McDonald's Happy Meal. Point
I don't
being
really
is,
have to
excuse
return
you,
it.
Pookie.
Excuse
So, excuse you, you're on mute?
No,
Oh, sorry,
excuse you.
silly goose, you unmuted yourself. So, again, listen very closely. Donald Trump is looking to violate the Budapest Memorandum, which will renuclearize Ukraine. By doing so, you're going to toss us into a nuclear or Cold War. Do you understand?
Nope.
Of course you don't understand. It's because you're
Nope.
ignorant.
Okay. Ignorant. You meet me in. You're afraid. You hide behind. You're a big.
It's so easy to trigger a MAGA Republican. Look at this. Look at the aggressive unmuting. Look at how aggressive. They're so easy. And they run around calling us the snowflakes.
Baby. What is it?
This is crazy. Look at this. On the count of 3, everybody. Let's do a little hocus pocus action.
What?
1.
Big baby.
2.
Baby.
3. Hocus pocus. Poof! And he's gone! Wow! The magic is real in America. I will never understand when MAGA Republicans like him come up here and they're like, you're the loser and blah, blah, blah. It's like, nope. The loser here are the women in your life. And that's a god-awful thing to be running around saying. The same way that these god-awful men run around saying, your body, my choice. That is sick behavior. And running around telling women that they're the loser. That is sick behavior. If this election should have taught you anything, it's that one, your vote shouldn't be taken for granted. That when you cast that, it shouldn't be through protest vote, and you ought to vote for Kamala. When you vote, you should vote in the favor of women's rights and equal opportunity, not against. Megan, thank you so much for the $10. Oh, I hope you have a good night, Megan. Thank you so much for the love. Hi, Dan. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
She lost in a landslide.
See, this is that kind of behavior. What is that? Came up here, cried, ran away. Okay, what? 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 What is that kind of behavior? Like, why are they so sensitive? You know, the difference between MAGA Republicans and Democrats, though, and I'll tell you this right now. MAGA Republicans lose an election, they say it's rigged and incite an insurrection. Democrats lose an election, and they're like, well, we got to keep fighting forward. They really are the most sensitive snowflakes, aren't they? All right, let's get up our next guest. I just want to debate one of them. Why are they so sad? Why are they so overly emotional? All right, let's try a couple more.
Hello?
Ew. I don't like that one. I'm going to toss it back in the ocean. Let's try a different one. Jennifer, thank you so much for the $10 on Cash App. Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, guys. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah,
Okay, why?
because I don't like Kamala.
Okay, so you're illiterate. You can even pronounce the name right.
Who, Kamala?
See, that right there. Are your parents related? I just assumed. Let's get up our next. I don't like to judge just because I know, again, like when your parents are related, sometimes that can affect speech. So that's why I was just curious if his parents were related. It was nothing personal. Just a genuine question. Was that rude? I don't think it was rude. I don't feel like it was rude. Was I rude? Trying to get up our next guest. I know it's pretty late, so we had a late start today. Let's try to get up our next guest.
Yo, hello.
Hello. He just screenshotted me. He straight up just walked up here. He's that obsessed that he decided to screenshot me. He was like, wow, I'm so excited to join this live stream that he just screenshotted himself joining it. That was weird. The screenshot, excuse me, screenshots of me are not free. Drop a 5 in my Venmo. That's not going to work. Excuse me. Consider this Times Square. If you were looking for a photo, it's $5. Guest, my Venmo is in my bio. No, like that was pretty obsessive. Again, if you wanted a photo, you could have just asked. I do charge those. So again, $5 in my Venmo. Let's get up our next guest. Slowly but surely. Again, folks, if you voted for Donald Trump, join my guest request. Don't be a snowflake. I mean, I assume you're a snowflake, so it's just kind of what it is, but... What a fan. What a fan. Keep an eye on my Venmo. I'm sure he'll pay for the photo he just took. Brandon, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
Sorry, guys. I'm sitting there having the best night of my life.
Yes, I did.
Okay, you got a lot of background noise. You want to fix that?
Why did you vote for Kamala?
You got a lot of background noise. Turn off the TV.
Excuse me. Why did you vote for
Okay, let's move on. Folks, this is why we should support abortion.
Turn off the TV.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
I voted for Donald Trump because if I didn't, downtown DC will be in flames. That's why I voted for Donald Trump.
You're saying because if you didn't and he lost the election, he would have incited another insurrection? Really? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And I wanted my paychecks to be tax free.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Sure about that?
You're sure about that?
I ain't sure about that. That's why I'm asking. You sure about that? Girl, honestly, you know what?
Sure about that?
If I was running around saying I'm 20 and I would honestly, you know what? I'd probably vote for Trump too. Clearly, whatever's going on isn't working for you now. I mean, but gosh, I'd probably, ma'am, you know what? I think you might be justified in your vote. I probably, honestly, something went wrong here. So clearly you're justified. You know what? You do your girl. You go vote for Trump. What the fuck? Anyway, so why'd you vote for the criminal? Can you just hurry up and respond? Are you okay? I hear you laughing. It's okay if you came up here and you were trying to troll and weren't expecting to get clapped, but then just let me know.
Clapped. You tripping.
Are you like eating your cell phone or something? Why'd you stop talking?
I feel like everybody should be deportation.
Excuse me. Everybody should be deportation. Is that you just said everybody should be deportation? Can we start with the illiterate first? Do you want your ticket now or do you want to wait until the inauguration? Anyway, so my statement stands. What is Donald Trump's deportation policy?
Yeah.
See, I have you giggling, and you hate that I'm making you laugh, and I think that just makes this that much more funny. So tell me again, what is Donald Trump's deportation policy?
You tell me.
Wow, you don't know?
You got all the answers, right?
Well, not for whatever went wrong with you. That's apparently the eighth wonder of the world. So tell me again, do you know his policy? If not, just say so. How is this even a debate? At this point, it just feels like abuse.
I don't know his policy.
Okay, so you don't know a single policy when it comes to immigration, and yet you said you voted for him based off of immigration? Ma'am, when the wall goes up, which side are you going to be on? I have you laughing.
Yo.
And that makes you mad. She literally ran away. The issue here is that MAGA Republicans who come up, they don't like that I make them laugh, which makes them that much more angry at me. Because they want to hate me, but the fact that I make them laugh, that upsets them. Because they can't hate me. Sorry, guys, I have a personality. Hi, guys. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did. And before you...
Yes, before you. Alrighty, folks. I think we're gonna call it here, and I'm gonna go grab some dinner, and I hope that you do the same. We'll probably come back in a little bit. Just a quick thing here. Let me check something real quick. Hi, guest. It said that you were waiting there for 30 minutes. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Yes or no? Okay, let me check. Yes, your bio says you did. So you did vote for Donald Trump. That is 30 minutes of your life you're never getting back. I'm eating up those minutes like AT&T. Let's get up our next guest here. Okay. Hi, Preston. Here you go. So, Preston, you don't even got to say anything. It says you were waiting 22 minutes to come talk to me. Poof, that's 22 minutes of your life you're never getting back. Call me Verizon. Let's get up our next guest. We're going to do this real quick before we all go have some dinner. Hi, guest. It says that you were waiting 40 minutes to talk to me. Okay, that's 40 minutes of your life you're never getting back. I'm more than happy to take them. Okay, anyway. The same way that you wasted decades of a woman's life when she fought for her right to choose, for you just to overturn it 50 years later, I'm more than happy to waste a few hours of your time. So anyway, to everybody who's been tuning in, hit that follow button in the top left corner and join our little family. We do these conversations every single day. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who had supported me today, whether on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Please, if you did support me on Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, please write your username in that like Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App so that I could follow you. If that's okay, I would like to follow you as like a little thank you. Anyhow, you said that you packed a charcuterie for lunch for tomorrow. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. I've never actually had charcuterie, but it looks really good when other people eat it. I've never had it, but it looks so good when other people eat it. It might be disgusting, low key. I don't know, but it looks good. It looks fancy. It looks like something you have around the holidays. Yeah, I know. I gotta try it. Anyhow, I know I'm missing out. I gotta try it. What did y'all do for dinner tonight? I think I'm just gonna go do like a simple vodka pasta spaghetti, Wait, it's antipasta. Oh, it's just antipasta. Oh, why you gotta call it charcuterie? Just call it antipasta. Why we all... Well, the Italians have been doing that for decades. So why we, huh? Wait, just call it, huh? Well, I've had that. Pizza, chicken cutlets, salad, and chicken tenders. Oh, I have dino nuggets. I should make those. That's not really a chicken tender, but beer battered shrimp. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds really good. I want to go visit my pod this weekend. Up north, because back home they have the best breweries. Y'all know this. If you're from like rural America has like the best breweries. Like they're always in barns and stuff like that, so it's a little, but might not be the most sanitary. Very good. Very good. So highly recommend. So hopefully I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. Go visit my pond, take him out, Anyhow, folks, I hope that y'all have a good night. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cough into that. I apologize. We got my inhaler here. I'll be taking it right after this. So we will be Parker raid. Is there a Parker raid going on? Guys, all right. There's a Parker raid. We're actually y'all from the Parker raid. So we were actually going to go grab some dinner. I'm looking to be back in about half an hour to an hour. But we're going to go grab dinner. No, not you. The Parker raid. Not the park. No. Don't you? No. Not you. All you Parker raiders. No, you're not. No Parker raiders today. We are all going to go have dinner now. I'm ending. We'll be back probably in about half an hour or an hour. I hope you all have a good dinner if you haven't already. But we'll be back. Love y'all who just came from Parker's live. Love y'all immensely. But yeah, we're going on dinner time now, so we'll be right back, probably about half an hour. Hope you have a good dinner. Thank you again to everybody. Let me double check here, everybody who had supported me. I want to make sure I'm saying thanks. My mom taught me to say thanks. That is something we do. Massive thank you to Jennifer. Jennifer says you look hot, babe. Jennifer, stop. Jennifer, listen, Jennifer, I don't roll that way, but just kidding. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate the love. Leah and Ashley as well. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, folks. And Molly as well. Thank you so much. I see your username there, Molly. I'll make sure I'll follow you right after this. Holly and Megan too. Thank you, folks, so much. I appreciate the love. All right, folks. We'll be right back. I don't want to do a raid. I really hope y'all go get dinner, go eat, do your thing. We don't, go eat, go eat. We'll be back.